Welcome, friends, to another garden update. This is going to be my July 2023 garden update. Today we're only going to be looking at the backyard garden. This is where I have most of my veggies, really all my veggies, honestly, and I have 2 blueberry plants and 1 blackberry plant. So as you can see, this side of the garden is doing much better. I think it gets like the first hit of the sun, and this gets like the second one. So I may end up doing something a little differently next year where I have more lower growing stuff here. I don't know, but let's start here at my 2 fabric bins. My garden is this back garden is just container gardening. Last year I did a whole in-ground garden here, and that was a lot of work that I don't ever want to do again. So these 10-gallon size fabric bins are from Costco, I believe. I'm sure you can find them on Amazon. But in these bins I have corn, pole beans, and this is squash. So this is like the 3 sisters right here. This corn is looking really good. Everything that's in these 2 fabric bins was started by seed. Okay, so that's really nice to see that you can start from seed. They're very inexpensively, and it grows really well. Some of them didn't pop up, but you just pop up a bunch of them in there and to see what happens. I did learn, there's a few of my squash, butternut squash that is, that you're supposed to plant the corn, and when the corn gets a certain height, then you plant the beans, and then when the beans get a certain height, you plant the squash. Go figure. This is the side that's not doing as well, but is still producing. A little closer look. So you can see I do have some tomatoes. I do have this weird cucumber growing. I also have a couple other ones growing. There's a variety of several different varieties of cucumbers growing. My goal is to have the cucumbers grow up on this trellis here. I have marigold flowers, which I really think are helping the garden a lot. Peppers, and that's really it in this area. There's beans, peppers, and cucumbers and tomatoes. So same thing on this side, planted at the same time, but you can see the big difference in how tall these tomato plants are versus the ones back there. So these cucumbers are taking off very nicely. I have these weird looking ball cucumbers growing. I have some beans growing, peppers, tomatoes, and the cucumbers. I do have a tomato plant that kind of got smushed in and integrated in. We just had a bunch of rain recently, so that's what you see. But this is how far they are. Lots of cucumbers growing on this one. You can find lots of them growing. And they're still growing. So I've been working on training these cucumbers to grow up the trellis and not mess with anything else. Over here we get into sad land. These are the pepper plants. I have gotten some peppers off these, but they probably really need to be potted. Need some more fertilizer. Just haven't had the time to do that. Over here are some beans and tomatoes. These are pole beans. So for right now they're doing pretty good, standing up on their own, but I do have a trellis that I can stick in the ground beside it. Looks like something's trying to eat it. And I have that's a tomato plant growing. This is all started by seed. There's 2. I guess the third one didn't come up. But yeah, this is why I like you to plant multiple things. And when these will get bigger, and when those are not producing as much, so you'll have a succession of planting. My blueberries, they're doing pretty good. I bought these this year from Walmart. They were on sale for like $10. So I got 2 of them. And I went back and I was like, oh, I'm going to get more. All gone. This is a high bush variety. So these would get really, really tall, really big, especially planted in the ground. My initial idea for these blueberry plants were to put them in a raised bed similar to that over here, but these are going to get super tall, so I don't know if I want these here because then they'll block my view of the playset in the future. So I am going to figure something else out for that. Something that I am highly considering is on this side of the property, we had the pool down. When we have a fence, to plant these and like these little raised beds, but I'll just plant them in individual ones, have like one circle one and another one, and probably get like 2 more, and plant this high bush variety along the side of the fence. Because my idea is to do some fruit trees along the driveway, but I'm not going to do that because we plan on paving the driveway. So I want to make sure the driveway gets paved first and then line it with the fruit trees. So I could start with blueberries here and then go on with my apples and pears and stuff. Blackberry is still in here, doing okay. If you are oldie but a goodie, you would know that I have grown blackberries in a storage container bin, which is drilling some holes when I lived in a townhouse, when I was renting a townhouse and couldn't really do too much. So this is an idea, if you can definitely see how you can grow things. And look at my sad plants. But look over here at the happy ones. You can definitely see that you can grow even in this small space. Like if you just had this right here, you can grow tomatoes, cucumbers, beans, and have a bountiful harvest. I'll end this video with a couple pictures. Thank you for watching and joining in. I hope you guys have a beautiful and blessed day, and I will see you guys next time.